Hello, I'm so thankful to be here with you this afternoon. I've been going on a lot of walks lately, and before that I was mostly just doing a lot of these classes, a lot of alignment practice, and the two really complement each other. Walking and working on your alignment and doing moves like we do in class really go hand in hand to create a body that over time feels really good. So if you've been doing the classes, wonderful. But if you haven't been going on walks, try to get some walks in more often to support your well-being. And I'd like to start class with a quote that is by a company called MoveNat, that's short for Move Natural Movement or Moving Naturally. And the quote is, "Moving more doesn't always allow you to move better, but moving better always allows you to move more." So keep that in mind as we go through class, that we really want to take our time and work on our alignment pieces, because that's what helps us move better over time. And the first one is sitting up with a more neutral pelvis, bringing the top front of your pelvis over the bottom front of your pelvis. And if you feel like you have to keep coming back there, then it's better to sit up on something higher. Get a cushion, get a pillow, get a couple towels to get your hips a little bit higher. And if you haven't tried it yet, one thing you'll want to try is sitting your hips higher for an entire class and just see if that makes it easier to keep your pelvis in neutral. And if it does, then do that for a few weeks or a few months until it feels like you're able to stay there without a cushion underneath your hips, maybe even a year. We're going to start with a strap, but if you don't have a strap, that's okay. You can go without it for first thing. But if you have one, whatever you use as a strap, wrap it around your rib cage, below your armpits, quite a bit above your waist, below your chest, and tie it snug. And if you're new and you don't have something to use as a strap with you yet, then at first you can just wrap your hands around the sides of the rib cage to the best of your ability. Wrap your thumbs around, wrap your fingers around. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on breathing into our rib cage, in particular the sides and the backs of the ribs. Those often tend to be the tightest areas, but interestingly enough, to move well, we want to breathe into the ribs the most and breathe less into our chest and less into our bellies. So we're going to focus on breathing into this area. Let's just do 2 breaths to start out. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, feeling the strap or the increase into your hands. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. We'll come back to it, but just remember, if it's in that area, if you don't have your strap on, pelvis upright, ribs relax down a little, reach your arms out to your sides with your palms facing away from you, and nice and slowly go up and down with your arms. And while you're doing this, you can look down and check. Are your ankles under your knees or a little bit in front of them? Are your knees about hip distance apart? Are the outer edges of your feet straight? So just notice your habit patterns that you unconsciously come to and come a little bit closer to neutral. Breathing here. Ribs stay relaxed down as the arms go up. So sometimes as our arms go up, we tend to lift and push our rib cage forward. We're working on not doing that. So we're getting more motion in the shoulders. Breathing. Okay, we are going to pause with our arms at different heights and take a rib breath at every height. And so I'll count to a count of 4, but if that feels too fast or too slow for you, please don't wait on me or rush. So take your own breath, just an inhale that feels comfortable and exhale that feels comfortable. Our main focus is where we're breathing, which we're breathing more into the sides of the ribs. And be patient with yourself. Someone recently told me that they just figured out, they've been taking classes for maybe years, and they just started feeling their ribs moving when they were breathing. And so it takes time sometimes when that area of the body is tight. really the best thing you can do is just focus on that area and imagine to the best of your ability that you are breathing into that area. All right, next time your arms go up into the air in kind of a wide V shape. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Bring your arms a little lower. Always rest your arms if they need a break. On the exhale, you're hugging it away from the strap, or you're hugging your ribs in towards each other. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Take your arms a little bit lower out by your sides. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And a little bit lower, palms face away from you. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now keep your arms low, a little bit out to the side, so there's a little bit of muscle activity in your shoulders. Pelvis tilts upright, ribs relax down. Turn your belly button to your right. Turn your belly button to your left. Come back to center, lift your arms a little higher. It's easy to turn from the shoulders and neck. Try to really feel your actual waist turning. Belly button to the right, belly button to the left. Always rest the arms when needed. Come back to center a little higher. They get tired at first, but you'll be surprised how quickly you build endurance. Belly button turns to the right, and belly button turns to the left. And come back to center, lift your arms a little bit higher, belly button turns to the right, and belly button turns to the left. And then unwind, release your arms down. Okay, hold on to the back of your chair, any height. If you tend to hold your shoulders up by your ears when you feel stressed, maybe go for a little bit lower on the chair. And then you can bend your elbows a little. And from here, not only do we want to sit more with an upright pelvis, but we want to remember that sitting up tall comes from the pelvis and not from lifting our rib cage. So we are going to lift our rib cage now, but just so that we can feel that this is not where we want to be most of the time. So pelvis stays upright as you drop your ribs down and back, which is interestingly enough where we want to be most of the time, and lift our ribs up and push them forward. And drop the ribs down and back. This is how our upper abdominal muscles and our abdominal muscles work very naturally. And lift up. And when we walk around and move around with a lifted chest, our abs don't work quite as well. Ribs drop down and back. And ribs lift up and push forward. And then one more, ribs drop down and back. And then you may notice that when your ribs go down and back, your shoulders and your head go forward. That's showing the tension in the neck and the shoulders. Just keeping the ribs down, slide your head back a little bit and then release your arms. And let's do our first lunge. So spin around to your right. We're done with the strap for now. You can keep it on and keep practicing some rib breaths, or you can take it off. Slide your knee back right underneath your hip. Let it drop to the floor. Keep one hand on your breastbone to keep it nice and vertical, and then from here we're going to ramp our head, which is a good exercise for when you drop your ribs down, your head comes forward. You just slide your ears back over your shoulders without lifting your chest, and then let your head come back forward. And it's called ramping because it's like your head goes down the ramp and then slides back up the ramp. Do that a few more times. And at first you might notice the tension along the back of the neck. Over time you might notice how it connects to the tension in the front of the throat and the chest muscles. Just when you slide your head back, try not to lean your head back. So you're looking straight ahead, you're not tilting your chin or your forehead up. So anytime we drop our ribs down, we can practice sliding our head back. Let's switch sides of our lunge. Spin around to the other side. Slide your knee back so it falls right underneath your hip. You can be on the top of your foot or shoe or have your toes tucked under. Ribs relax down. And then this stretch, just letting your chin drop down to your chest, is especially good if when you slide your head back and your ribs are down, you feel a lot of tension along the back of your neck in your upper back. So just releasing, letting your shoulder blades be wide, tuning into your breath. Soften your face, relax your jaw. Take one more breath here. And then lift your head up, slide that leg forward, spin back around to the front of the chair. And then from here, we're gonna stay in a twist. So feet straight, ankles under the knees, pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Twist your belly button to your right and hold. And try to really feel like you're turning from the waist. Waist motion perhaps is one of the most underused motions in modern culture, like true waist motion. People do twist all the time, but I could have my belly button pointing straight ahead and turn my neck and shoulders, and to someone else it would look like I'm doing a twist. But if your actual waist doesn't move, you're not actually getting a twist right around your core. And it's one of the best things to create a more mobile core, which over time becomes a more functional and a strong core. Helps all of your organs process better and do their jobs better. So digestion, heart health, a lot of things are connected to having a mobile core. So try to feel, no matter how small, that you're turning around your belly button, and then switch sides. Pelvis upright, ribs relax down, turn your belly button to the left. Now, if you're sitting here and you're twisting, you just hold the twist while I'm talking, but your pelvis is sinking back. Or your pelvis is upright, but your ribs are slightly lifted and you're turning, you're bypassing your waist muscles. So that's why the neutral pelvis and the ribs relax down becomes so important, because it allows you to really target and get into that waist area. Take another breath here. Try to really feel the belly button turning. All right, and then unwind. Let's walk your feet wide, outer edges of feet straight. And then from here, you're gonna extend your legs long, so in a wide V shape. And if you need to scoop back on your chair, if you feel like you're slipping off, make sure you're someplace that you're pretty steady. Interlace your fingers, right pinky finger on the bottom, press away. Several things to be aware of here. The first one is watch that interlace. Does it come apart? Try to get a more even interlace, even if it means pulling all of your fingers apart. Press away with your hands, and now let's circle our thumbs around in a gentle but as big as we can go circle. And sometimes the first time you do this, it's like your brain doesn't connect to your thumbs. Pause, circle in the other direction. But so important to take care of our hands, to take care of our thumbs, especially in modern culture where we spend time looking at our cell phones and scrolling on our cell phones and with our hands on a keyboard. All right, switch the crossing of your fingers. Put your left pinky finger on the bottom, press away. So the next thing to be aware is where are your hands? Naturally, when you push away, do your hands end up here? And we have a chronic habit of always using our arms higher, which uses a lot of these muscles next to our neck and shoulders. And if we just start dropping our arms down, we release some of the tension in those upper shoulder muscles, and we start inviting more of the lower shoulder muscles around the sides of the armpit to work for us. Nice even interlace, and then go ahead and circle your thumbs again. Breathing. Circle them in the other direction. Nice long legs. Try to relax any clenching in your thighs, in your buttocks muscles. All right, and then release your hands. Now walk your feet in just a little bit, not quite hip distance apart. Your legs are straight, your feet are wide. Great practice to get into when you're watching TV. And with your arms just hanging by your side, let's pull them back and lift them into the air. And I'm not going to give you many alignment cues. Some of you know what we practice to get into the less used muscles in modern culture, but I don't even want you to think about that. Even if you know, I want you to just naturally go with if you really relax yourself and just do this movement, what alignment do you move in? And you don't even have to pay attention. You just have to move freely. Try to keep the ribs relaxed down. That's one thing we can work on. So as your arms go up, you're not lifting up through your chest. For most people, our elbow pits, when we're really relaxed, will face each other. If you get a lot of cracking and popping, go slower in that area, a little bit less range of motion, but still go into it. And then over time, if you keep doing the motion, you'll probably notice less cracking and popping over time. All right, next time your arms come down, walk your legs into hip distance apart. So those two bones that stick out the top front of your pelvis in line with your ankles. Let's go back to interlace. Right pinky finger on the bottom, press away. Get that even interlace. Start with your hands low, and then this time just gently spread your thumbs away from each other. Without lifting your ribs up, slowly take your hands up. And at some point in time, you might notice the fingers start to splay or the thumbs start to come in. And what's happening is the tension in the shoulders is talking to the tension in the hands. So if you find a spot, like right there, my fingers start to pull apart, you want to stay there. We often think that the best motion is end range of motion. Now most of us can probably get our hands pretty high, but if I pass over this area where my fingers came apart, I'm passing over an area where my body is showing me that I have tension. So you want to find those places where you have tension and stay there and breathe there. And if that means going a little higher, that's okay. Let's switch the crossing of our fingers. Left pinky finger on the bottom. Press away, get a nice even interlace. Start with your hands low. Spread your thumbs away from each other and back toward you. And then slowly go up without lifting the ribs. And just watch. When do the fingers start to pull apart? When do the thumbs start to come in? Or when do you start to feel a little bit extra tension in your arms? And just hold there. Are you clenching anything around your thighs, around your buttocks? You can wiggle your legs a little bit. And then slowly your hands come down. Now let's walk our feet all the way together. And neutral is when our elbow pits are forward. So if you're working on upper body stuff, opening around your shoulders, you can start turning your elbow pits and maybe at first your hands forward when you walk. Over time, your elbow pits will stay forward when your thumbs are forward. But we're going to try to turn our elbows a little bit out more. So not only they're forward, but they're going out to the side a little bit. Rotating from your upper arm bones, elbows turn out to the side and swing your arms there. And you're mostly just going backwards, swinging backwards, and the elbows come forward. And if they won't turn out to the side, that's okay. Just try to keep them pointing forward as you swing back and relax forward. And again, go a little slower if you notice a cracking and popping area. A cracking and popping could also be that your ribs are lifted and you don't realize it. So relax your ribs down and back a little bit more. Sometimes it takes months of working on just getting tension out of the shoulders before you're even able to relax your ribs down and back. And for some people, the ribs move very easily, and so they think their ribs are all the way down and back, but there's still room to go. Turning those elbow pits out to the side. A couple more swings here. And then relax your arms. From there, walk your feet back to hip distance apart. Go ahead and bend your knees. And then from here, you're going to put your fingers, turn your palms around so your palms face towards me or away from you. And you're going to try to touch as many of your fingertips to your thigh as you can. And at first it might only be 2 or 3. Eventually you might be able to get 4 of your fingertips down. You're trying to just put your fingertips down, not your whole finger. And with your fingertips down any amount, you could also do this with a table in front of you. Pull back on the palms of your hands. Spread your thumbs out away from each other. Great. And then put the palms of your hands down on your thighs. Now we're going to tuck our right foot under for a top of the foot stretch. If there's not a rug or a cushion under there, it might not be so comfortable, so you could stick a towel under there. Put the top of your shoe or the top of your foot down. If it cramps, just come out. And while we're here, we'll focus on our right hand, and you're going to try to keep all your fingers down and lift one at a time. So can you just lift your pinky finger up and lower it down? And then just lift your ring finger up and lower it down. It's harder at first than it looks. Just lift your middle finger up and lower it down. Your pointer finger and lower down. Now keep the whole palm of your hand down and lift your thumb up and lower it down. And now that foot that's tucked under, you're going to pull your 4 fingers down together, but not turning your wrist down. Just the palm of your hand stays towards the ceiling. Pull your fingers down and rotate your ankle a little bit side to side, like you're rolling from one side of the top of your foot to the other. And then let your wrist turn down as well. And you're rotating that ankle a little bit side to side. If your foot cramps, come out, let it rest. That just means that those muscles are waking up. And then release and release that foot. Okay, tuck your left foot behind you, toes tuck under so you're where the shoelaces would be on a shoe, foot right behind your knee, hands flat on your thighs. Now one finger at a time. Just lift your thumb up, your left thumb, lower down. Lift your pointer finger as high as you can without any other fingers coming up or bending your fingers. Lower down. Lift your middle finger up and lower down. Lift your ring finger up. That's the most challenging one for me. Lower down. Lift your pinky finger up and lower down. Then flip that hand over. Keep your palm flat to the ceiling. Pull back on all four fingers and rotate your left ankle a little bit side to side from big toe to pinky toe side of the foot. And then let your wrist turn down with your fingers and continue to roll your ankle a little bit side to side. Nothing should hurt. If it hurts, come out, ask me about it, or come back to it later, but there shouldn't be pain in any of these things. And then release your fingers and slide your foot forward. Okay, from here, we're going to stretch your fingers again, but we're going to do it palm face up, and you can pull one finger down at a time and then turn your wrist down. But if you're able to, you're going to come down and do it with your elbows on your knees. And if not, then don't worry about it. And so just one elbow, your right elbow is going to be on your knees. Your ankles are underneath your knees. You're going to pull down on your pinky finger, let your wrist go down, and then lift your heels up off the floor. And when you lift your heels up, you want to notice if your ankles twist to the side, try to press down equally through the balls of your feet. Lower your heels down, palm goes up. Pull your ring finger down, turn your wrist down, lift your heels straight up off the floor, and lower down. Palm goes up, middle finger pulls down, wrist goes down, lift your heels up. You can do this all from up here as well. And lower your heels down. Pointer finger pulls down, wrist follows. Lift your heels up, try to press equally through the balls of the feet, lower down, and then your thumb gently pulls out to the side for a moment, and we switch hands. So either arms up or elbow rests on the knee, pull just your pinky finger down, then the palm of your hand goes down, lift your heels up off the floor, and lower down. Palm goes up, ring finger pulls down, palm of the hand goes down, lift your heels up off the floor, and lower down. Palm up, pull your middle finger back, pull the rest of your hand back, lift your heels up, and lower down, palm up, pointer finger down, wrist back, heels up, heels down, then pull your thumb gently out to the side and away from the rest of your fingers. And then release. Okay, sit back in your chair for a moment and cross your right ankle. Keep your knees hip distance apart and cross your right ankle over your left knee. So you're sitting back here, kind of relaxing back. If your ankle doesn't cross over your knee, you could use a block inside your foot or something that you have about that height to put your foot up and still allow your knee to drop open so it's comfortable. So you have that option. And then from here, leaning back, take a breath here, and we're going to point your right ankle and flex. Notice when you flex, you tend to pull your toes back. Can you relax your toes? So we're using two different sets of muscles when we pull our toes back. Try to relax your toes as you point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. Now you're going to twist your ankle like you're turning your arch away from you and up to the ceiling. Arch, twist, and twist. Twist, 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 twist. Okay, twist your foot so your arch points away from you. Flex your ankle. Your ankle will have to be a little bit over your knee. Circle your ankle here a couple times in one direction. And then pause and circle your ankle a couple times in the other direction. Try not to go too fast. Try to draw a complete circle. And then pause and rotate your pelvis upright while your ankle's crossed over your knee. Reach your arms in front of you, palms down. Pull your elbows back. Extend your arms long. Rotate your palms to face each other. Thumbs up. Pull back and extend. Rotate your palms up. Pull back and extend. Then rest your hands on your legs and try to rotate forward from your pelvis a little bit more. Notice that bottom leg. The ankle should be right under the knee. So if your knee collapses in, open it, or if you walked your foot in center, walk it back out so it's in line with your hip. And then come on back, all the way back, and let's switch legs. So feet hip distance apart, either block inside your right foot and your foot goes on. You might have to skip some of the ankle stuff or do less range of motion, or put your ankle up over your knee and you're sitting back. Point, relax your toes as you flex, which will take some practice. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. And then from here, little twist. And so two people here, like I have quite a bit of range of motion when I'm twisting my ankle side to side. If you don't, you're working on getting more range of motion without force. You're just trying to turn your ankle a little bit more. But if you have a lot of range of motion like I do, that might mean for you, you have to work on stability. And so for you, as you twist your ankle, can you go a little slower? Because going slower connects your nerves to your brain in a different way, and it helps those of us that lack stability. So going a little slower helps with that. And then pause with your ankle flexed. If your arch tends to roll up towards you, press it away, and then circle your ankle in a complete circle here. And those areas where your ankle wants to go really fast is often where you're missing range of motion. Pause and circle your ankle in the other direction. Feel the connection of how when you move your ankle, maybe you can feel your lower leg muscles move underneath your hands. All right, pause. Rotate your pelvis to come away from the back of your chair, which is how we use more of our core muscles all day. Reach your arms forward, low chest height, palms face down. Pull your elbows back and extend. Turn your palms to face each other. Pull your elbows back without your chest going forward. Ribs stay back. Extend. Turn your palms up. Pull your elbows back. And extend, bring your hands down, try to rotate your pelvis a little more to hinge forward a little bit towards that leg. Check your bottom foot that it's still over under the knee and in line with your outer right hip. And you can take one of those rib breaths here. All right, and then come on up and uncross. All right, we're gonna do a couple lunges on each side. Let's go over to our right side again. Slide the knee back, right underneath the hip. You can also, if by some chance, most chairs, this is pretty easy to do without handles on the chair, but you could also potentially do lunges, scooting your hips over and sliding your hips back and sitting on one side of your chair. I feel like it's a little more stable when you go to the side, but that's just an option because some chairs are unique and they don't allow you to do that. All right, from here, your arm is low, your ribs relax down, you're drawing your arm bone into the socket and reaching it out. Arm a little higher. Arm bone draws back and reaches out. Arm a little higher. Arm bone draws back, reaches out. Arm a little higher. Arm bone draws back and reaches out. Bring the arm down, slide the leg forward, spin around to the other side. So it's the same thing here. One person might be doing this and they're like, I don't really have all this, I don't have any range of motion here. For you, you're focusing more on the reaching out. You're trying to create more range of motion in your shoulders. For someone who has a lot of range of motion here, you're working a little bit more, focusing a little more on what does it feel like when I stabilize my arm bone into the shoulder socket. So start low, reach out, pull back, a little higher, reach out, pull back without force, nothing with force, arm a little higher, reach out, pull back, a little higher, reach out, pull back, bring the arm down, scooch around to the other side, spin back around. So we're going to do that same thing where our arm bone goes out and into the socket, but we're going to do it reaching across the body. So start with your hand low, like above your knee, reach it across and reach out, pull the arm bone back. Hand a little higher across the body, reach out, pull back. Hand a little higher, reach out, pull back. Hand a little higher, reach out, pull back, and then bring that arm back in front and lower down, switch sides. All of this stuff helps open the spinal area, which allows the ribs to come down with more ease, which allows more rib breathing over time, which is really essential for the health of the body. Reaching the arm forward low, go across the body, small motion, arm reaches out, arm bone goes back into the socket. A little higher, out, arm bone in. A little higher, out, arm bone in, and a little higher, out, and arm bone in, and then that arm comes down, spin back around to the front of the chair. Walk your feet nice and wide with the outer edges of your feet straight, inner thighs open. Let your arms hang by your sides behind your thighs. Pelvis upright, ribs relax down. And then all we're going to do here is we're going to lift our shoulders up. So extreme tension, extreme stress. And instead of dropping them down, we're not going to do that. We're going to lift up and slowly lower them all the way down. Slowly lift your shoulders up. Slowly lower them down. Let them relax without tilting your head back. Slowly lift your shoulders up and slowly relax them down. One more. Lift your shoulders up and slowly relax down. Walk your feet into hip distance apart. When you're getting out of a chair, you're trying not to scoot your feet back. That overloads the knees, overloads the feet, underuses the hips over time. So try to keep your feet forward, and if you notice you have to scoot them back, try to scoot them back a little less. 2, watch your thighs. Do they collapse out, or more commonly, do they collapse in? Try to keep them hip distance apart to use your muscles equally. As you lean forward, try to come up with less momentum. So come up slow. As soon as your buttocks comes up, push your hips back, press into your heels to come up. Make sure you feel like your chair is right behind you. This is a great time to have a pillow or extra towels on the chair. Sit your hips back. Lower your hips down nice and slowly, watching the thighs don't collapse in, and you're trying not to fall to the chair. So when people get out of a chair, not only do all these things happen where they scoot their feet back and their thighs collapse in, so you want to pay attention to that, but also most people don't use their muscle at all. They use momentum to get out of a chair. So instead you want to go slow as you get out of the chair. And then the next piece is when they sit down into a chair, they don't use their muscles, they fall at some point into the chair. So instead, come up nice and slow, push your hips back, and as you sit back, can you use your muscle all the way down to the chair? And we want to work on this. We want to get good on this. This has everything to do with our pelvic floor health, our hip health, and if you really think about it, this is only half of the journey. So if you're already falling to a chair, imagine getting down to the floor using your muscle. It's going to take a lot more muscle. So this is the first part of the journey, is just learning to sit down and get up without using so much momentum or falling, and instead using more of your muscle to support your body, which is circulation, which reduces inflammation. Let's do one more. And I'm just sitting in a different angle, so hopefully you can see a little better. Push your hips back as you come down. Come around to the back of your chair. All right, from the back of your chair, good habit to get into every time you stand up is putting your hands on the back of something, a kitchen counter, a fireplace mantle, and pushing your hips back. 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. Really, really good one to do looking in the mirror. because the goal is to let your spine to relax down so your belly relaxes and your tailbone even goes a little bit into the air. And a lot of people, when they first start, their spine is more like this and they don't realize it. They think it's flat because my spine doesn't feel that rounded right now. So you're trying to let your spine relax down as your hips back up. And then press into your heels, come up. Grab whatever you're going to use for a calf stretch. So it can be a thin block. Today I'm going to use a dome. You can use a rolled up towel. Put the ball of your right foot up, your heel down, outer edges of feet straight. You can stay right there. You can step your outside foot forward a little bit. Let your arms hang, elbow pits turn forward. Now we're going to combine a few things. So we've got our calf stretch going. If you feel unstable, step your outside foot back a little bit. We're going to combine the lift and the lowering of our shoulders, but with a head hang. So let your head drop down. Relax your forehead. Lift your shoulders. Slowly lower. Lift slowly. Lower slowly. Lift slowly. Lower slowly. Lift slowly. Lower slowly, and then slowly bring your head back up and switch feet. Put whatever you're using, a dome, a thin block, a rolled up towel, underneath your left foot, outer edges of feet straight. Maybe you step your right foot forward a little bit. Don't force it, trying to relax your leg muscles. And now with your ribs relaxed down, you're just gonna slide your ears back over your shoulders. So you're gonna hold a head ramp and lift and lower your shoulders. Now, if you have a forward head posture as you're doing this, your head's going to want to go forward a little. So you're just without lifting your chest, keep your ears sliding back as you lift and lower your shoulders. Slide the head back, chin stays down. Good. All right, step off of there. You can move that to the side. And then you're going to put your hands back on your chair, walk back from here. We're going to bend your knees, and we bend our knees. We want to try not to lead with the knees. So we want to, and not that this is a bad motion, but we need to use more of our back leg muscles. Since we sit so often, it weakens our back leg muscles. So we want to try to go back. So if you're too far back, you might have to step your feet forward a little bit so you can bend your knees and sit back. And then push your thigh bones back to straighten your legs. Bend your knees, sit back. 2 long arms, long spine. Press your thigh bones back nice and slowly. Bend your knees, but try not to let them pop past the front of your ankles. You're really sticking your buttocks back. And straighten your legs back. And one more. Bend your knees, sticking your buttocks back. And then straighten your legs back and press into your heels through the backs of the legs to come up. Feel free to use your chair here to hold on to. Feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Push down through your outer right hip. If it tends to pop out to the side, part of your work is hugging it in. We're all trying to not let our weight go forward, but back our weight up over our heels so our actual ankle, knee, and hip are in line. When our hip is forward, which is where we tend to go because we're stronger, we're not stacking things, not so good for bone density, not so good for circulation, not so good for the joints over the long run. So we're backing our hips up and we're trying to keep them back as we push down through our right hip, hug it in, or our left foot floats up. Now you have choices here. We're going to tap the toes, and you can either put your foot down every time to re-push down, or you can just let your foot float the whole time, especially if you've been doing these with me for a while. So tap, and foot comes forward. Weight back in the heel of the balancing leg. Tap and forward. Tap and forward. Tap and forward. And then next time you put your foot back, put the top of your foot down. If you're wearing a shoe, it's not very flexible, probably not going to curl under as much, but at least put the tip of your shoe down. And then check what's going on with your standing leg. Is the weight forward in the front of the foot? Is the hip going out to the side? Can you back your hip up and hug it in if it pops out to the side? If your foot cramps, come out, give it a break. And then release the top of the foot. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Push down through your left hip, hug it in. The right ankle flexes. And you tap and bring the foot back. And you can either float the whole time or you can put the foot down every time. Tap and bring the foot forward. Tap, and foot comes forward. Tap, forward. Go back, tuck the top of your foot under. Check what's happening with your standing leg. Did the weight drift forward? Back it up so your heels and so the front of your foot and your toes can relax. So almost your toes should be liftable and relaxed at any time. Does your hip tend to pop out to the side? This was me for years. I had to really work on it. Now my hip stays in a little bit more, but I still drift forward. So I have to keep working on the backward motion of the leg. And of course, if your foot cramps, come out. But if you feel this on the top of your foot and you're like, ooh, it's tight, then there's a really good chance you're wearing shoes that have little heels on them all the time, or you're standing like this. And shoes that have little heels on them push your hips into this position. So keep your weight back in your heels. All right, from here, let's stand behind your chair, feet straight, ankles hip distance. Sit back into a chair pose. Press into your feet to come up. Sit back, press up. Really try to go back. Watch if the thighs collapse in. Open them from the top. Press up. Sit back and press up. Okay, sit back. Lean a little into your left leg. Step your right leg straight behind. Can you land on the center of the ball of your foot, or does your foot always turn one way or the other? Try to land on the center as long as it's not painful. Push into the heel of the front foot. Press off the ball of the back foot to step back up. Feet straight. Sit back into a chair pose. Push down through your right hip. If it tends to pop out to the side, hug it in as you step your left leg back into a lunge. Land on the center of the ball of the foot. Push into the heel of the front foot, the ball of the back foot. Sit back into a chair pose. Right leg steps back. Push off both feet to come up. Feet straight, ankles hip distance. Sit back into a chair pose. Left leg steps back. Push off both feet, especially the ball of the back foot, to push down to come up. Sit back into a chair pose, step your right leg back. Now hold here and try to walk your left foot, the forward foot, out to the side a little bit, heel toe. And you're just walking your left foot wider in your lunge. So now you're in a lunge where your feet are wider than hip distance apart. And then heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, your foot back under your knee. Push off that back foot, sit back into a chair pose, step your left leg back, steady through the ball of the back foot. Your front knee is bent, your back leg is straight. Heel toe, turn the toes out, the heel, toe, toe, heel. Walk your foot wide, hold your lunge here. Breathing. Heel toe your foot back in, so it's under your knee. Push off the ball of your back foot, sit back into a chair pose, step your right foot back, reach your right arm forward, palm up from the belly button, twist open towards your right leg. Now go slow, reach all the way across. Let's do that one more time. From the belly button, twist open, and then reach all the way across your left arm. Bring that hand back down, push off the ball of your back foot, sit back into a chair pose, step your left leg back, reach your left arm forward, palm up, twist open from the belly, and go across the body. One more like that. Twist open from the belly, keep breathing, and then reach across. And then bring your hand back down, push off the ball of your back foot, to press up, to come up, to stand. All right, with your feet hip distance apart, remember we're always working on not pushing our pelvis forward. So if you tend to lean into one leg, the first thing is correct that, and then the next thing is back your hips up. Your pelvis is still flat, so you're not backing your hips up like this, but you're backing your thigh bones up and keeping the front of the pelvis as flat as you can, and just shift your hips from side to side. So if you have a habit of standing in one leg, which believe me, a lot of us do, it's been a great experience for me to stand in line like at Trader Joe's and stuff and watch. Especially I was in Chapel Hill the other day in North Carolina, and I was standing in line at the Chapel Hill there, and there was a lot of people, probably like 30 to 40 people in line to get in. and 2 of all those people was standing with their weight on both legs. Every single other person had their weight on one leg. And we would stop, and I know I've told this story before, but it's just so fascinating. Someone would go into the store, they'd come out, they'd take us 2 steps forward to the next spot, and they'd go right back into their same position. And I just kept watching that and watching that. If that's your habit, this small, because at first, when you try to stand on 2 legs, it's going to get tiring very quickly. And your body's not going to want to maintain it because it's like, hey, I'm used to leaning into this hip, which when you lean into one hip, you're kind of using more muscle in the leaning hip, but you're also not really because you're also kind of sitting in your connective tissue. So it's really a way for your body just to use less muscle. And if we would just stand and move in a way all day long that use more of our muscle, we would be in a lot better place. So instead of trying to force your body to hold equal between 2 legs at first, move a little from side to side. A little bit of movement works well. Okay, step your feet a little bit wider. Shift your hips from side to high side here. You're keeping your thigh bones back so your weight's back in your heels. I mean, it's significant if you really pay attention, and I am just like everybody else. My body is always trying to conserve energy. I'll be talking to someone and the next thing I know, I'm leaning on a chair. Step your feet a little wider. Weight back in your heels, shift your hips side to side. But if you could master that, if you could master not leaning against your kitchen sink, not standing with your weight all in one leg, not leaning on a wall, not sitting back against the back of your chair all the time, not sinking, take your feet a little wider, so it might be less of a shift here, not sinking back into your pelvis when you're sitting, you would use significantly more muscle than a lot of the people around you, even the people that are going and working out for an hour a day. Because those people that are doing that, which is awesome, which keep doing it, keep coming and taking classes with me, but for the rest of the day, they're doing what the rest of us do. They're going into their chair and sinking down or sitting with one leg over here. So if you can get out of the habit of using things, you're taking your movement away from you every time you lean into something, every time you even lean into your body to hold your own weight up. You're taking circulation away, you're taking muscle work away from your body. And then with your feet nice and wide, reach your arms forward, palms down, sit back into a wide squat as you pull your elbows back. Reach your arms forward, turn your palms to face each other, thumbs up. Sit back as you pull your elbows back. Reach forward, turn your palms up. Sit back as you pull your elbows back. Reach forward. Now your feet are still wide. Hopefully your chair's in front of you. If not, turn. Push your hips back into a half forward fold. Try not to bend either of your knees and shift your hips side to side. And in a time where people had to work all day, meaning get all their own food, get all their own water, nothing was packaged, nothing was just at a grocery store in abundance, our bodies were meant to rest like that. Like even people in indigenous cultures, they would go and lean into their hip and just relax. But it doesn't work for us anymore because we have so many conveniences. So we have to kind of bypass that system and teach ourselves to use our muscles more often to support our bodies. And that is cellular health. That's when you have health at the cellular level, when everything within you is moving and feeling supported. Okay, bring your hips back to center, push your hips back. From there, come up and sit into a squat and try to drop your hips lower than your shoulders, meaning as your hips lower, a lot of people's torsos tend to go forward. Can you keep your torso up and just try to drop your buttocks a little lower? And then back your hips up, press into your feet to come up, walk your feet in about as wide as your chair, sit your hips back. Can you drop your hips lower without your torso really diving forward? Back your hips up a little, push into your entire foot to press down to come up. And then from here, walk your feet into hip distance apart, 2 hands on the chair, walk back 2 straight arms, 2 straight legs. How about holding onto the sides of the chair, bending your knees and sitting your hips back? Breathing here, letting your breath flow. Just trying not to hold your breath. Press into your feet to straighten your legs. Bring your hands all the way together, thumbs touching. Bend your knees and sit your hips back. Smooth inhales and exhales. And press into your feet to come up. Okay, we're going to use the wall for just a moment. If you don't have a wall space nearby, this is kind of quick, so watch. And after class, go to the wall and do this. Stand sideways to the wall with your hand on the wall. I'm putting my hand a little in front of my shoulder so you can see, but you'll line up your hand directly in line with your shoulder. Fingers point up into the air. Remember, we're trying not to shrug our shoulder up by our ear. So low chest level, hand on the wall, face the same direction, face the direction you're facing with your hand on the wall, and turn your chest away from the wall. Press your hand equally into the wall. As you're turning, do your ribs lift up? Very common when the chest is tight. Relax your ribs down and turn from the chest. Unwind, turn your fingers to point forward. Your hand is back here in line with your shoulder. Turn your chest open, any amount. Breathing. What's going on with your feet? Are they turned out? Are they closer than hip distance? Is your weight in the front of your foot or your heels? Turn your fingers to point behind you. So fingers point behind you, like that. And turn your chest open. Low chest level is where your hand is. All right, turn around, switch arms. Start with fingers straight up, hand a little bit lower than your shoulder, in line with your shoulder. Turn your chest open. Feet are pointing straight ahead. Breath is flowing into the sides and the backs of the rib cage. Notice if your fingers feel like they want to curl up on the wall. That's the tension from your chest into your hand. So try to straighten out your fingers a little more. All right, turn your fingers to point forward, the direction you're facing, and turn your chest away a little bit. Unwind, turn your fingers to point behind you, and turn your chest open. And I know that sometimes I get in tangents and I talk about this, but I'm so excited about these ideas because the biggest part, the takeaway from this class, is to think about movement differently. Like if we think about movement differently, we can do different things. Our culture's idea of what keeps the body healthy hasn't exactly been on point, but we're getting closer. Just like we've been studying nutrition for a long time, and most people would agree. Go ahead and release your arm. Come on back to your chair. From your chair, you're going to sit back into a chair pose and cross your right ankle over your left knee and sit your hips back. If your hips push to one side, bring them back to center. Try not to let that bottom knee go forward. So most people would agree, even if they don't do it, that they know fruits and vegetables is really what we should be eating. I mean, there's been enough studies done on nutrition that we know that even if you're eating other things, you should be eating fruits and vegetables. Switch legs, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Well, movement for the longevity of the body is just starting to be studied in the way nutrition was starting to be studied a long time ago. So you can only imagine how far we have to come. This is just the beginning of human beings learning to move in ways that really support their well-being. Up until now, it's been mostly about performance and professional athletics. That's where most of research has gone into. And that will probably still dominate for a while. All right, come on up. One more hands with hands back on the chair. If you want to turn this into a double calf stretch, if you have a rolled up towel or something, you can put the balls of both of your feet up far apart and push your hips back. But you don't have to put the balls of your feet up. All right, and then come on up and have a seat in your chair. So how are you going to sit down in your chair? You're not just going to fall down into your chair. You're going to set up your feet hip distance apart, feet straight, and sit back and not fall to your chair. And if you feel like you have to fall or your thighs collapse in, better to make your chair higher. Stack it up towards you. Your body will learn better that way. And then from here, take your right arm up and over into a side bend. Now you're going to side bend from your waist and your ribs, and you're going to keep the side bend, meaning we're not going to come up and go over. You're staying over with your torso, just your right arm is going to come down and go over. Right arm, down and over. Work with the arm a little in front of the body. Down and over and down and over. Good. Now pull your torso up. Outer edges of feet straight, ankles under the knees. Left arm goes over. Torso is going to stay leaning over to the side. The left arm is going to go down and over and down and over. Two more like that. Down and over and down and over. And then pull yourself up. Pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Walk your feet wide. Turn your belly button to your right. Bring your left hand to your left knee. Keep turning the belly button. Left hand goes up. Spread out all your fingers and taps down. Let's keep our fingers spreading today. Arm goes up. Tap down. You're still turning to the right. Arm goes up. Tap down. Left arm goes up. Tap down. Turn your belly button to the left. Bring your right hand to your right knee. Spread all your fingers out. Keep them gently spreading. Keep turning your belly button to the left. Right arm goes up. Tap down. And up. And tap down. And up. Tap down. And up. And tap down. And then unwind the belly button. All right, walk your feet back into hip distance. Stretch your legs nice and long here. From here, you're going to let your right ear drop over to your right shoulder nice and slowly. Reach your left hand out to the side, palm up but low. Focus on the connection from your fingers to your neck as you reach your arm across a little and back out. A key part is that you're keeping your right ear tipping over without your torso tipping over. So torso stays upright. Left hand a little higher. Reach in front. And back out. A little higher. Reach across. And back out. A little higher. Reach across. And back out. Slowly your hand comes down, your head comes up. Now because you just stretched the left side of your neck, you want to go extra slow as you drop your left ear to your left shoulder. If you go in too quickly, sometimes the muscle can cramp up a little. Right hand palm flips away from you, low. Reaches across low. And open, and a little higher, across low, and open, a little higher, across, and open, a little higher, across, and open. And then from here, bring your head up nice and slowly as your arm comes down. Okay, rebend your knees, pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Now please go slowly with this, because if you go quickly, we're getting deeper, closer to the spinal muscles. And it's easy to kind of pull on something that you're not used to using. So you want to go slow. Turn your waist to your right, and then take your left hand low, and like you're trying to reach behind you and grab something. Bring the arm back, but you're still pretty much still turning to the right. Bring your arm a little higher and reach like you're reaching behind you. Bring your arm back, you're still turning to the right, your arm goes a little higher. Reach like you're reaching for that book behind you, and come back. Last one, arm a little higher, you're still turning your waist to your right, and reach and turn through your spine, and come back. Let's do it on the other side. Pelvis upright, ribs relax down. Please don't force anything. I've done this too quickly and I felt like, ooh, I feel something deep inside. So go slow at first. Turn your belly button to the left, reach. And when I was doing it, I was actually reaching for something. I wasn't exercising. And come back and arm a little higher, belly button turning to the left, reach farther like you're trying to get something behind you. Come back, your belly button still turning, arm a little higher, reach, and come back, belly button to the left, arm a little higher, and reach, and come back, and release your arm, extend your legs long again, roll your pelvis forward, let your spine relax, let your chin drop into your throat, soften your face, relax your jaw. And then slowly come up and you're ready for your final pose, just to sit back in your chair and relax and exercise for your nervous system, to just do your best to sit and focus on your breath and focus on your body. Know that the nature of the mind is that the mind wanders away, but to help strengthen your nervous system, keep bringing your mind back. Don't worry if it keeps wandering away. It's not how long you can stay focused on your body, even though that's helpful over time for other reasons. But keep bringing your mind back. Keep scanning your body. Keep feeling your breath. Stay present with your body, with your breath. Give this next minute to yourself. It really is a gift for your nervous system to just let go of what's going on around you and steer your attention to your structure and to your breath. Without any judgments, without any stories, just observing, part by part, piece by piece. In any situation, there are an infinite number of possible outcomes. For many of us, our thoughts automatically go to worst case scenarios, as if in doing so we protect ourselves or prepare ourselves. What if instead we become aware that there are many options? What if we begin to trust ourselves, knowing that no matter what happens, we will handle it appropriately, and there's no need to brace ourselves for what we imagine. There is a feeling of relief that comes from breathing, letting go of the need to control, and just focusing on the present moment. Bringing your hands to heart center. If you ever want a longer savasana, now in the relax session, there is one guided body scan, and I'll be adding more to that over time. So please feel free to do that for yourself. But thank you for being here and creating all these present moments together where we're present of all of our fingers and all these different body parts. In gratitude for this day, namaste. Watch how you get up.